Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Yes. You're knowing what you're wanting? It moves about a bit, yes. You are appreciating the expansion of your personal desire. Feels good to want, feels good to identify, feels good to decide, to choose, feels good to know what you want. Not so much, eh? As we chew together today, it is our desire that by the time we come to a conclusion, that you have come all the way full circle to this first question: are you enjoying the evolution, the presence of, the expansion of this constantly evolving desire that is within you? We want you to say yes and really mean it. But we understand that until you are able to deliberately and personally and consistently be a vibrational match to your own desires, that saying yes to that would only be words. It wouldn't be real, because when you desire something that you doubt, it doesn't feel good. Desire that is laced with doubt or fear or disappointment doesn't feel good at all. So if we say, are you enjoying your desire? And you don't believe for a moment that your desire will ever come to fruition, then you got to say basically what you said. You sat there silent. No, Abraham, we're not all that jazzed about our desire, because I felt better before I knew I wanted that thing I can't have. And from our vantage point, nothing falls in that category. There is nothing that this time-space reality can have inspired within you that is now a desire that you can't experience fully. Nothing that you want cannot be. It all has the ability of becoming. In fact, and most of you don't like hearing this, it is mostly already become, because everything that manifests becomes a vibrational reality first, and that's far and away the most creative juice. By the time it has become vibrationally and is in your vortex where the larger part of you is, we'll talk about that, it's a done deal. It is. But our physical friends say, well, it seems more like a pipe dream to me, in every sense of the word. It doesn't feel real to me, Abraham. I can't see it yet. I can't hear it. I can't smell it. I can't taste it. I can't touch it. How dare you call my dream a reality when I can't see it and no one else can see it either? And we say, well, we have the advantage of being able to interpret vibration, and we also have the advantage of knowing that everything becomes a vibrational reality before it is manifested, and that coming into the vibrational reality is the big deal part of it. And the very small deal part of it is, once it is in the vibrational reality, then manifesting it is simple. It's so simple. There's just one very slight, very simple, maybe not so easy for you until you practice it a little bit, but very simple thing for you to do. You have to become a vibrational match to your own desire, which means you have to believe it. You have to feel it. You have to know it. You have to feel good about it. You cannot doubt it. You can't have negative emotion about it. You can't worry about it. You can't wonder if it's possible. You can't fear that it won't come to be. You can't be more of a vibrational match to its absence than its presence, and ever have its presence show up for you. And you say, well, that sucks. Because how do I feel its presence before I see its presence? And we say, that's the flawed premise that will trip you up thing after thing after thing. So often humans are offering their vibration in response to what they observe. So if you observe something and then you are giving your attention to it on a pretty regular basis, through your observation of it, you train your vibration into that frequency, and then it manifests in your experience. But if you say, but I need to see it before I can believe it, we say, then it cannot come for you. You've got to figure out how to believe it before you see it. You have to figure out how to believe in the vibrational version of it and feel so good in focusing on the vibrational version of it that you train your frequency into alignment with the vibrational version of it. And when there's no gap between what you think and what you want, it'll manifest all over the place. People watching you will say, what magic button did you push? And you'll say, I pushed the button of belief. I got into the vortex. And they'll say, how did you do it? How did you come to believe something that wasn't already evident in your experience? And you say, well, I looked at things that were in my experience and I convinced myself that this too could be. Or I looked at others who I knew at one time weren't experiencing it that now are, and I convinced myself that this too can be for me. In other words, I practiced an optimistic thought. I practiced a better feeling thought. I trained myself into the frequency of having it rather than into the frequency of not having it. I practiced the frequency of belief, and in doing so, I left the frequency of doubt behind. Oh, so you took that doubt and you wrestled it to the ground and killed it, eh? No, it doesn't work that way, you wisely tell your eager to learn friends. When you look at the absence of what you want, you practice that vibration. When you look at the presence of what you want, you practice that vibration. And all you have to do is decide it doesn't have to be present in terms of manifestation. It can be present in terms of vibration, and you can feel it. You might not be able to see it yet, or hear it yet, or smell it yet, or taste it yet, or touch it yet, but you can feel it, and so you can focus upon it. And if you can feel it, and therefore you can focus upon it, you can practice the vibration of it. And if you practice the vibration of it consistently enough that the vibration of the presence of it is tipped slightly on the fulcrum of your vibrational attitude, once you practice the vibration of the presence of it just slightly more than you practice the vibration of the absence of it, it must be. So here's how it really works. We're going to give you a very visual picture. You are vibrational beings. Do you know that? If you know that, you're way ahead of the game of most humans, because most humans see themselves as these tactile, human, physical, flesh, blood, and bone creatures who are observing manifestation and cataloging it and pigeonholing it and defining reality through those physical senses. So they see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it, and they get as much agreement from others on it, although it's really interesting how little agreement you really have with each other on so many things. But you do have a platform of experience that you do, many of you agree upon, and that's what you are calling your physical reality. So here you are in your physical body, exploring your physical reality, but before you were here focused, you were source energy. You were non-physically focused. You were not seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching, but you were being and you were knowing and you were feeling. You were vibration. And this is a very important thing for you to understand. Even though you are now in this physical body, fully functioning as this genius creator out here on the leading edge of creation, you are also non-physically focused. In other words, the source energy part of you is still the source energy part of you. And a part of that consciousness is the consciousness that makes the doctors proclaim you alive or later on dead. In other words, they don't know how it got there. They don't really understand it. They just know if it's there or if it isn't. Dead, alive, dead, alive. But that has given you a sort of screwy perspective, because you tend to think of yourselves alive in the non-physical, and then alive in the physical, and then dead in the physical, and then alive in the non-physical, and then dead in the non-physical when you're alive in the physical. And it isn't that way at all. You're always consciousness, and you're always alive, and sometimes part of that consciousness is focused in the likes of you. But there is always, while you're here in this physical body, there is a bigger part of you, a vibrational part of you, a source energy part of you, living and well and offering vibration. And you can feel all day, every day, what your vibrational relationship is with that source energy part of you. That source energy part of you is love beyond physical description. And when you find a reason to feel love, that feeling in your belly, that rippling through your body, that feeling of appreciation and love and joy is your indicator of your vibrational, in sync, perfect alignment with the whole of who you are. No separation between you and you. But when you find something so aggravating that you focus upon it until it brings you to rage or hatred, that awful feeling that you feel is your emotional indicator that you've got a vibration going on, and you're certainly free to do it, but you're choosing to focus in a way that the source within you does not, will not, never did, and never will focus. And in your pushing hard against your unwanted, you affect a vibrational discord between you and you. And that's what all negative emotion is. It's your indicator of your vibrational discord between you and you. But it's not just between you now here in your physical body and whoever this source energy being was before you were born. It's current, real-time, present tense, vibrational relationship. In other words, in Australia right now, do you know it's Sunday? Isn't that weird? It's Sunday in Australia. How weird are they over there? Jerry and Esther were there for a while, and they called their staff in Texas and said, "We're living your tomorrow. We're in your future, and it's good. It's really good." But of course that wasn't accurate. It was just, the present was just named something different. In other words, it's all now, whether it's non-physical or physical, whether it's Australia or Chicago, it's now, it's all happening now. The vibration of who you really are as source energy is happening now, and the vibration of who you are here in your physical body is happening now. And your emotions are telling you the relationship between those two vibrational vantage points of you and you. This workshop, which is based upon the powerful law of attraction, we are calling the art of allowing, because it's really about you figuring out how to deliberately allow yourself alignment with who you really are. So here's how it works. You were source energy before you came into this body, and even though you're in this body, you are still mostly source energy. So here you are in this physical body, and it is so wonderful how you are exploring and observing and coming to your own personal conclusions all day, every day about what could be an improvement. Jerry and Esther, it is so funny to watch them, because all day, every day, whether they are in the monster bus or whether they are driving one of their vehicles or whether they are staying in a hotel or sleeping in a campground somewhere or whether they are in Texas or whether they are in California, all day, every day, they are looking for ways to improve their personal experience. All day, every day. Esther said as she called the room service order in, "I'm not going to try to cajole them this morning. I'm just going to place a very straightforward order for something that it turned out they did not have, but..." All day, every day, trying to find the best possible way of having life be just slightly better than it already is, which, when life gets really, really good, means you have to become very discerning, because life is already very, very good. And all day, every day, you are looking for opportunities to ask for more. And even if you do not put words to it, you can't stop asking, because you live in a vibrational universe where everything you look at has an equivalent bounce to it. In other words, when you know what you don't want, what you do want comes into focus somewhere. Not where you are, but comes into focus somewhere. And if you really don't want it, then you really do want it. If you really, really, really don't want it, then there's something that you really, 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 really do want. In other words, the other side of the wave is always equal and proportionate to the degree of investigation that your physical perusal has offered. So, all day, every day, you are knowing what you don't want, knowing what you do want, knowing what you don't want, and sending these vibrational rockets forward, which, and here's the part that we so want you to hear because it's where we come in, as your rocket of desire moves forward vibrationally, it is received by the vibrational counterpart of you. That's us. It's received by the vibrational counterpart. When you ask for an improvement, we get the rocket.